this co-main event.
Oh my God.
Let me just check we're still recording. That battery's going to die soon, but we're doing all right. We're doing all right.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be fun. This might be the one from the card, mightn't it?
Striker grappler though, isn't it? It's like old school in that way.
Like proper grappler.
Yeah. You could have put this on UFC 48.
Still the same,
and it's
still the same archetype,
same kind of thing going on. Like Brad Riddell, hard-nosed striker, long stance, rounded back, chin down. I don't know how he's not got a finish in the UFC so far, because like sitting octagon side, hearing the power in his shots.
Because he's thick too. Like he almost got Thai legs. Like he's got big, thick trunk legs.
Yeah.
And he's, I mean, I was sort of going to ask you, like, what's going on? When I watch him, he seems technically exceptional.
Yeah.
But he's not getting the finishes.
He's from interviewing him fight week and from watching him fight, there's an emotion in him that I think does him a disservice.
Okay.
I think sometimes he wants to fight to the point where he you know, because like when you watch him holding pads, when you watch him coaching, you can clearly tell he's a very intelligent guy. He's got a real good understanding of the striking ranges, and when he's throwing, you can see that it's well drilled and skilled. So that the disconnect is the application. And I feel like the disconnect is maybe the emotion gets in the way of the thought process. So like with someone like Gregor Gillespie, the more he gets taken down, the more he gets frustrated, the less chance he's got of keeping this fight on the feet, because he's going to be
overcommit.
Exactly. It'll be emotional trying to land those shots. And Gillespie, you've got to think he's coming off the first loss of his record, which was a bad knockout. So he's not going to want to mess with Brad Riddell's striking.
Not a chance.
Especially if he takes a couple of those low kicks from Riddell. And that lead leg for Riddell is very, very vulnerable to a low single as well, because of how long he stands.
And then when the elite grapplers decide, I'm not having this, I'm grappling you, like it leaves the strikers a very small amount of space to work in, doesn't it? Because they're coming for it and they'll be relentless. And Gillespie is absolutely relentless, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he does. He chains his takedowns together so well.
Oh man, he got slept by Kevin Lee so bad,
didn't he?
Didn't he?
But then you look at everybody else he's fought, and he just rolled over them.
Yeah.
Just rolled over them. Yancy Medeiros, ground and pound. Vince Pichel, arm triangle. Jordan Rinaldi, ground and pound. Jason Gonzalez, arm triangle. It's like if he doesn't ground and pound you in the first, he's going to arm triangle you in the second. Yeah. And again, like Brad Riddell is technically very good. I think he's going to have good defensive work on the ground. I think he's going to have good escapes. I think his sub-defense will be good. I think he's going to be stubborn as a motherfucker as well. The more frustrated he gets, the more he bridges to escape, the more chance there is of him giving his back or reaching into an arm triangle.
I don't think it's a good look for him. I loved what that fight against Ross Pearson's guy, Jamie Malarkey.
Oh, Malarkey.
It was insane.
An absolute war.
Insane. I'd be fascinated. I don't know if you ever spoke to Mark Goddard about it, but I would have thought it was almost one of his most difficult performances to ref, because it looked like it should have been over. And then Malarkey would do something that wasn't just like a little bit of a movement. Like he'd double switch his hips. He'd switch one way, sit out, switch back the other way. You're like, how are you doing that?
I thought you were unconscious.
Yeah. Are you doing that subconsciously?
Yeah.
That fight was insane. And then did he finish it both kneeling? I think they were both kneeling.
Both kneeling, and then throwing punches. Loved
and
it.
they're
Malarkey's that kind of fighter as well, though. You know, he's a very much a Brad Riddell kind of fighter. He's like, come on, then let's have it.
Proper like that. Like he wanted it even when it was like just about to get finished.
Yeah. But like even interviewing Brad Riddell in fight week, though, he's not talkative. He doesn't like being there. He's not there because he wants to be a fighter, because he wants to be famous. He's there because you're paying him money to fight someone. And like, he'll fight someone anyway, or he'll take your money anyway.
Mercenary.
But if you'll pay him to fight someone, he'll be there and he'll answer the questions.
He's got a beautiful
through gritted teeth,
like drift right hand.
Yeah.
Where he I don't know whether he does it off a jab or he does it off a feint jab, and then he'll drift and he'll throw that right hand over the top. And he caught Mustaev.
Yeah, Mustaev. Yeah,
he caught him with it and dropped him, I think. But Gregor's wrestling's another level.
Yeah, it is.
It's almost like in that, it almost, if you're wrestling is another level, it almost swings it to the fact that your opposition has to do something special, because you're going to impart that, you're going to get this wrestling game imparted on, and it's on your opposition to do something special. That's how controlling wrestling is, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly that.
And Brad could do it, but I don't know. He
could do it. Like if I'm Brad Riddell coming into this one, if I'm his coach, I'm saying, okay, like, first of all, he didn't fight at all last year. So the last thing that's ringing around his head, literally, is Kevin Lee's foot.
Yeah.
So like the first thing he's going to think when he gets out there is, I could get knocked out again.
So 5 years, no losses.
5 years, no losses.
Bang.
Big
knocked
loss.
Out.
Big loss. And then a year out.
Shattering for your confidence.
Yeah. Well, over a year out. I mean, it was September. No, hang on a minute. That's the wrong record. Gregor Gillespie. It was 2019. November of 2019 when he fought Kevin Lee.
I wonder why. Like, why? Is it any cancelled bouts?
No, nothing. No cancelled bouts at all. So I don't know whether it was because... I wonder if
it's associated with that, how bad that knockout was.
It could have been. It could be a psychological association or a physical association. It could have been his inability to train properly because of the pandemic. I just don't know. I mean, maybe he just wanted some time off. Maybe he just felt a bit burnt out from that, because the expectations of him were very, very high. He was coming into that fight undefeated at 12-0. He was already in the rankings. He is already in the rankings.
Oh, man. I nearly flipped back then for a second.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, like, Brad Riddell hits hard, like he's mean, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like he's proper mean.
Exactly. Like if I'm...
And like he just catches him, and then suddenly like the crescendo effect of, oh my God, it's happening again. Yeah.
And then he's shooting from a distance when he shouldn't be shooting, and gives Brad an easier job of defending his takedowns because he's shooting out of panic.
It's a pain in the arse if he gets hold of you. If he can manipulate him to the fence, and even if he has to take like a glancing shot to get hands on,
But that's the thing, is his willingness to take a glancing shot, especially when someone like Brad Riddell throws heavy for everything he throws. Like, if I'm Brad Riddell, I'm taking the centre straight away. I'm making him feel uncomfortable straight away. I'm pushing him back,
bully,
and I'm Caneloing him. I'm hitting him with hard shots, no matter where I'm hitting, and I'm fully expecting that he's going to follow one of these hard shots back with a takedown. And if his confidence goes because he's starting to take heavy shots and now he wants to wrestle, and then he starts failing takedowns because he's shooting out of panic, that then puts Brad Riddell in a much stronger situation. And how many times will Gillespie shoot and fail? Like, to get his hands on him, that's then comfort zone, and he can now start to then flow through. Whereas if, like, Brad Riddell, he's able to just completely shut those first couple of takedowns by making him shoot from a distance. Gives him a better chance to read it and to sprawl.
I wrote Gillespie down.
It's fight of the night, man. I'm telling you. I like really both guys. And I just hope they don't kind of cancel each other out, because Brad Riddell wants to strike and Gregor Gillespie doesn't want to give him any space to get up. So it's just he kind of nullifies him.
But feels his power and then does get the takedown, and then just holds him down for as long as he can.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Because like he was very aggressive before the Kevin Lee fight on the ground. Once he got somebody on the ground, he would be
all over.
He'd be all over them. But then
that's ingrained in him. Do you know what I mean?
Is.
That's like, you're not. I don't know.
How much of it's hinging on confidence, though? Like, he might think, if I attack this, he's going to be able to scramble and get back up, especially if he feels how strong Brad Riddell is.
Yeah.
And he is a very physically strong individual as well. You've seen that in his fights. He's been able to just throw people off at times. Which way are you going?
Let's get Gregor Gillespie back on the win train.